meditation calms you down, gives you more perspective in life. Back then, it was a different thought process. I'm going to go back for 30 some years.
Where you just go to an ashram for some time, no distractions, no people who are triggering you, and you come back all rejuvenated and energized. And the first day you get back home and you hit the regular day-to-day of life, everything goes out of the window.
Your intention about doing anything has to be very, very meaningful to you. And now it's time to kind of really be aware of what you're putting your time and effort into.
The thing they say that when a butterfly in the Amazon flutters its wings, there is a rainfall that happened in Russia.
Knowing what I know now over the years, I think everything is so connected. So I deeply believe that all of these things matter. Hi everyone, welcome back. We have Payal here. Payal is a friend of mine and I have known her for years now. She is going to be our guest today and we are very happy to have her. She is truly who sits at the intersection of science and spirituality. She's an AI entrepreneur, a meditation coach, and a yogi at heart. She's been practicing meditation and spiritual practices since her early introduction to art of living. I was reading that, Payal. That's awesome. Back then, actually, I did the art of living course also in Chandigarh. And over the years, she has become a meditation coach, a committed yogi, and carrying these practices into her personal life. I'm actually really excited to have you, Payal, here today with us, and we are going to talk about one of her favorite topics, as she tells, spirituality in the modern world. Well, welcome, Payal. So good to have you.
Thank you, Param.
It's been a while we've been trying to do this. I'm so happy to have you here today. So tell us, how did you delve into this spirituality realm and what made you go into all of this?
My journey with spirituality started when I was in college, and I didn't really know anything about it. I didn't know anything about meditation or what spirituality even meant. But I met Shri Shri Ravi Shankar, and he's a world-renowned humanitarian and enlightened master. And through him and his organization, I started to learn, and I became an ardent devotee and a student. And my curiosity was just something that was taking me further and further into it. As part of Art of Living, I learned everything about doing sadhana, which is meditation, seva, which is service, and satsang, which is, the company of the truth. And those, that set the foundation, and the rest is just my journey, very personal journey, because I do feel that spirituality is very personal. There's nothing that is written down or something that can be standardized for people. So after that, it was just my own personal journey of exploration, of connection with my deeper self and connection with the divine.
That's amazing. And I think living in this world these days, we really need it. And but back then, it was a different thought process. I'm going to go back for 30 some years when I got introduced to art of living, and I did that first level course and the second level course. And it what it meant for me back then was that meditation calms you down, gives you more perspective in life. And we didn't have that many distractions back then. Now we have zillion things that we are trying to delve in and trying to figure out, and the distractions. So, what do you think has changed for you from that time to this time now?
Honestly, and you're so right, you're spot on. Like, our lives are very busy. As working moms, as caretakers for aging parents, our own health, our work, our passions. Our life is very busy, and we would often stop and wonder, hey, like, what am I doing? I'm just running, from meeting to meeting, from engagement to engagement, and my life is just going by. When do I get the time to really sit and pause and do meditation or follow my spiritual practices. And that is the thing, that in today's world, you don't need to really do anything which is different from what you're doing. You can do all of the responsibilities that you have, all the engagements you have, but make every single thing a spiritual practice. Our meeting here, right? We are sitting here. This is a spiritual practice, right? Because we are doing it with full awareness, with full honesty, and we are being true to ourselves. And we're doing it by taking God's name, by remembering Him, right? So that is where I believe that spirituality really happens in the modern world, is to live honestly by doing your responsibilities with awareness. And the challenges that you face here in this world, right, are really your training ground. Because I feel, look, it's very easy to have um, a life or where you just go to an ashram for some time, no distractions, no people who are triggering you, nothing to really bother you. And then you go there for 10 days, a month, 2 months in a retreat, and you come back all rejuvenated and energized. And the first day you get back home and you hit the regular day-to-day of life, everything goes out of the window. Every single thing that you've learned, how to stay calm, how to, be joyful, how to maintain your peace, how to be in harmony with yourself, everything goes out of the window the moment you enter home. So that's why I feel that just making every single act that you do and every thought and every action meditative in nature and spiritual in nature, that is what modern day spirituality is all about.
I think you nailed it. That's important, and I talk about it all the time on my platform about this. I think the deeper thought process is intention. Your intention about doing anything has to be very, very meaningful to you. And it's time, like we are at that age, we've lived through the hustle of the life and been there, done that kind of a thing, and now it's time to kind of really be aware of what you're putting your time and effort into it. And you talked about, we all go to, I love going to the retreat, but I would differ a little bit on that when I go to a retreat, what it does for me is it calms my brain down, my cortisol levels down to a very happy space, which means when I come back, my cup is so full that I'm ready to give back more, and in a better way. I'm not like frazzled or all over the place. I'm actually calm, centered, and I can do that in a better way. That's been my experience. That's why I end up taking some time off for myself, going away, um, calming my brain down, and then coming back to the hustle of life. Because, like you just said, there is no escape. We all have to live our life. We have to bring up our kids, their struggles with their lives that we have to deal with and talk about, and our work. We are all career women. We want to be, we are living in that world of let's do everything and let's do it right. And that becomes another important topic for us as women, that how do we center ourselves? And I think you have done a phenomenal job of doing that. You've diversified yourself, and tell me, how did you think of becoming a Vedic astrologer? I hear that it was about 6 to 7 years back you got into it, and so how did that happen?
Yeah, I think that was a little bit of serendipity, I would say. It wasn't something that I had planned or wanted to do, but astrology is something we grew up with, in the sense that we always had a house astrologer. And my father studied astrology. I never had any interest in studying it, but I was very curious to go to astrologers and ask them what's going to happen, when will I get married, how many children will I have, what will be my career like, all that, standard stuff. So, and I was very deeply fascinated by the science. And I think it was in 2019 where I started just like delving into it by studying some books. And then I found a guru, a teacher
Okay.
that I really connected with, and I started learning from him. And I think one thing led to another, and before I knew, I had started to do professional readings. And it's just so happened, although I would say that my knowledge of astrology is probably like dipping your toe into water, because astrology is such a vast science. But I think it's also a little bit of grace. So what started happening is that as I would do these readings, I would just get these epiphanies about the person. And out of the whole chart, I would go and pinpoint that specific thing, which was true, or it would come true about the person. So I think that's where I started understanding that astrology is something that deeply affects our life, but at the same time, it is within us to also monitor how much of that we let influence us. And so it kind of became another very interesting study for me. And I'm just by nature such a curious person, so you give me any topic and I would just love to go deeper
Delve
in
more
it.
into it. No, that's actually very interesting. For me, it was a very interesting change I saw happening, following you, that, okay, now she's into astrology, very different. Being a Sikh woman, our family was never into astrology much, so it wasn't something that I delved into personally. But knowing what I know now over the years, I think everything is so connected. Our body is 85% to 90% water, which means the way the moon is moving and the way the sun is moving, it's affecting all of us. So I deeply believe that all of these things matter. And as we are almost ready to start the year of the horse, the fire horse, with the Chinese calendar, I think all these things matter. And I feel all Eastern cultures, whether you take Chinese, Buddhism, Indian culture, astrology, all of these are so connected, and they are so connected with the body and how we are reacting to things. So that's a very interesting thought process that you put out, and you said you were into it from the very beginning.
Yeah, I was very fascinated with it. And also, I think the realization that everything is energy. Every single thing is made of energy and lifetrons, right? The stable is you are, I am. The whole universe is energy. And the planets and stars are also emitting energy. So there's just no way that their movement, their transit in the sky affects us.
Yeah.
Everyone knows about the thing they say that when a butterfly in the Amazon flutters its wings, there is a rainfall that happened in Russia.
Yes.
So there is studies that have been done on that. And astrology actually started from astronomy. And astronomy is the study of the planets and the stars and their effect on us. It's only through the ages that astrology kind of got separated from astronomy and became its own science. So it's a very deep science and very accurate in its prediction. It's just that in today's world, it is very hard to find astrologers that can accurately predict. So there's a lot of fear mongering that happens, and where astrologers would give you remedies that, oh, if you don't do this, then this would happen, which has given a little bit of a tarnish or a bad reputation to astrology. But deep down, it's a very ancient science.
Yes. I agree. I mean, our Vedas have talked about it, so all of that. So tell me, you are an AI entrepreneur. You worked for Microsoft, you worked for Amazon, and very recently you have delved into your own startup. So how does all of that, being a science background person, get you into all of the spirituality part? So how did that come about?
Yeah, like I have grown up with a very scientific mind, and I think it has been a little bit of a paradox, because I also very deeply believe in the meta science or the metaphysical aspects. So not only the physics of things and science, but also metaphysical things, metaphysical things that you cannot see, that you cannot perceive with your senses, right? Where sometimes, and most of the times, logic defies. So it has been, that's really been, what has driven me and my journey in life and my career. So as a scientist, with a scientific bent of mine, I went into computers and engineering, especially, after completing my engineering from India and moving to the US, working as a software developer, a product owner, engineering leader at Microsoft for 18 years, Amazon 3 years, as a GM, running very large products. And then last year, I started my journey with being an AI entrepreneur, given that everything is AI now, because I wanted to really delve deeper into how I can use AI to solve organic problems. So that's where my AI journey started. It's really fascinating, and I do believe it's kind of a little bit unique or different, where on one hand I'm so deeply scientific in my reasoning and in how I approach things, but on the other hand I'm completely kind of metaphysical and spiritual, and I think it's a really interesting kind of an interesting combination, I believe.
I truly agree. And my next question comes from that. Because you hear there is so much fatigue in this industry, right? People are, there's so much turnover of jobs. People are mentally so fatigued about everything, and it's just not, they're not in a happy mental space. So what do you feel for you among your peers with your spirituality uh, background and what you're doing? What's the difference for you as a human? What you feel at, is that something you would like to tell the audience about, getting more into spirituality for your regular life, your regular day-to-day things?
Yeah, see, AI is no longer a hype. It is very real, and the advancement that is happening in technology is happening at a pace which is mind numbing. And the transformation that this is going to create for everyone, for all of us, for the world, is real. And it would mean things will change, and things that will make some people and many people also uncomfortable, because it would mean that the jobs they were doing would change, the way they used to live is going to change, the way they educated their children is going to change, the medical system that they used to is going to change. So it's a lot about change and transformation, and it is needed. Right? I mean, as we all, humankind progresses, the transformation is a natural part of it, it's needed. Now, how do you actually come to terms with it, or how do you become comfortable with that change and adapt that transformation? I think that's where spirituality comes in. Understanding that this change is real, and I need to maintain my own inner calm, my inner groundedness, being stable in how I'm going to adapt myself to the things that AI is going to change. I think that's where spirituality would really help. And like we discussed, right, spirituality is nothing but living and doing every task, like even picking up this cup and like drinking water with awareness, right? With full awareness, with full purity of thought and action. That's spirituality.
Perfect. And you're right, like all this change that is coming, we all know it. It's here. It's here, and it's here to stay. And it's going to, I think, even if you listen to the people who are at the top on all of this, they themselves don't know how much big of the change it's going to happen, what it's going to end up, because it's learning every day. AI is learning from itself every day. So you're right, just to adapt to the change and how to make it okay for us to be fine with the changes happening all around us. Yes, spirituality. I'm a total believer, and you know that this is what I I believe in like total intention, your deeper self as a human, a person who's paying attention to what's actually happening, feeling the energies around us. And it's interesting we talked about energy. You can actually feel people's energies around you all the time. You just have to tune into it.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to tune out because our distractions make it easy for us to tune out, but it's important for us to tune in so that we can feel the energy and how the universe is moving and what the universe is telling us. A butterfly fluttering is going to make rain somewhere is an important energy change. Well, great. And another question, I see that you travel so much. You've traveled 45 countries. That's amazing. That's you've been all over the place while doing the work and bringing up two daughters. So I'm myself a traveler and I love to see the cultures of different places. What do you think? What made you become a traveler and how it's helping you in your life and what do you have to tell people about this?
Yeah, I strongly believe in one world family, and Vasudev Kutumbakam,
Mm-hmm.
and that we all are global citizens. These are only labels that we put ourselves. That hey, I'm an Indian or I'm an American, and you start to create boundaries, artificial boundaries around yourself. Traveling is one of the best way and the most entertaining way, I believe, that you can become a truly global citizen. In my travels across the globe, and I think there is only Africa that I haven't been to
Okay.
amongst all the continents that are there. I think what I've seen is that people fundamentally are good,
Mm-hmm.
and people fundamentally want to live an honest life. They actually want to live and practice spirituality. It's just the flavors and how they do it is different.
Mm-hmm.
But understanding that and getting that lens of how different cultures operate, what are the things that are, uh, the genuine constraints that they are living with,
Yes.
or certain beliefs that they have, which are so strong and embedded in them. Having a perspective of that has truly helped me grow as a person.
Mm-hmm.
So, travel is one thing I strongly believe that everyone should be investing their time into, and not really going to places just to go check them out as tourists, but really being there again with full awareness and spending time tuning in to the energy of that place,
That place.
talking to the people of that place and asking them, sometimes really honest questions.
Mm-hmm.
Even like I've been on travels to countries like, I don't know, Spain or Norway or Peru or Argentina, where I, just traveling in an Uber or going to a restaurant, I have had conversations with people. Hey, can I ask you, like, what is your concept of God?
Mm-hmm.
What is your concept of spirituality, right? And it just strikes up such a beautiful conversation. It is just so fun to listen to them and
Yes.
learn from their perspective. So I've just truly enjoyed my travels.
And that's a good perspective that asking them about their thoughts, their rituals, their traditions. I think for me, the biggest thing is living in the country that we live. We are very blessed. We have abundance of everything. God's been kind. But when you go to different places and actually see that life can be easy, it can be contained in a smaller container with less things to deal with, and even then, that's a beautiful life. I just remembered something. My kids did a service trip one time, and then they were trying to help those kids there, but with kind things, the things like, okay, these many clothes, these shoes, these things, build something for them. And my older son had a thought on it. He said, "Mom, they are just so happy just the way they are. They're not wanting anything more. Happiness is coming from inside them." So what I'm trying to get to is that travel, We are all blessed and lucky that we can do it, but that gives you perspective. And this is one of the perspectives that Payal is talking about. And for me, it's been a very different perspective too. But it brings awareness, openness. You get to know the energies of the place. Certain places are so holy, their energy is so pure, and you can feel it inside you. I think we're both agreeing on is travel is a good thing. If you can afford it, if you can do it, look into it, see what you can find, new things. Uh, Last thing I want to ask you is your new platform.
Yes.
So Payal just started a new platform with her Vedic astrology thought process, and I've been following her to see where she is. So please share your platform so that people can look into it, what you're doing right now.
Yeah, so a couple of months ago, I started this channel. It's called Vedic Science. And the core purpose behind that was that our Vedas, the Vedic wisdom is extremely deep, very ancient. And whether we like it or not, it has governed and continues to govern our day to day. And there's so many rituals, so many things that are written in our Vedas that no one is aware of. And so I wanted to take the time to bring all of that knowledge out, that wisdom out for people and explain it in very simple scientific way, so that people really understand. So even topics like why do you cover your head when you go to a religious place? And this is across all religions. You think about Islam or Christianity or Jews, Hinduism, Sikhism, all religions, we cover our head. But why? Why do we cover our head? There's a very deep scientific reason behind it. It is about the flow of energy. And because when you go to a religious place or you meet an elder or a guru, you cover your head when taking blessings, because you don't want that blessings, that energy, that aura to escape.
Wow.
And this is medulla oblongata. It is, this is the place where even your soul departs when you die. And so the blessings that come in, you want to contain those blessings.
Wow.
That is why you cover your head. See, it's so scientific.
I did not know that, actually.
All the wisdom is so scientific.
Yes, yes.
We think that it is, oh, most of these things are done because that's what our parents told us, or that's what our priests tell us, or the Pope tells us, and so we just follow. But why? When you start questioning, you will realize that everything has a very deep scientific meaning behind it. Most of that meaning, just to tell you, is all related to energy. It is about the energy exchange. So that's why I started this platform, just to bring that wisdom out in simple words, simple language, so that people like us can easily understand that.
Very nice, and I'm happy that you're doing that, and all the best for wherever you want this platform to move towards. And I will end this talk with this. It's all about energy. Energy of a human as who we are. We keep it pure, we keep it simple, we keep it straightforward. Everything in the universe starts falling into place. I am a firm believer of that. And how God is moving things around you and the universe is making things happen, just tune into it and be part of that whole experience of energy around you. Every little thing around you has energy. And that's what Payal is talking about. Payal, would you like to say something to wrap this up?
I think this is wonderful talking to you, Param. Thank you so much, for giving me this opportunity to share my journey and to share with the audience as souls who are here on earth to learn some lessons. And along the way, we'll meet some beautiful people who will just help you, sometimes grow faster. And some people you might just learn some really harsh and hard lessons from, but it's okay. They're all part of your soul journey. And that's where we're all going.
Absolutely. And soul journey, that's what we are all heading towards. Hopefully, you have a beautiful soul journey for yourself too. Thank you for being here,
Thank
Payal.
you.
It
Thank you
was
so
it was
much.
so nice to chat with you.
Thank you, everyone, for letting me share a piece of me with you. And thank you, Param.
You're very welcome. Thank you, everyone, for listening to us. We appreciate you all. And hopefully, this means something for you too. Love always.